You're watching Sri Lanka's number one sports hub, www.thepapare.com, coming to you live from CR&FC for the L.E Blaze Trophy encounter between Wesley College and Kingswood College. As you can see, the story is not too great from here at CR&FC. Heavy showers has been persisting for the past couple of hours. And currently the referee is taking a look at the field, whether it is safe to continue the game. They are doing an inspection currently of the playing field and will make a decision as to whether the play can go ahead, and if so, at what time. So do bear with us as we hope to bring you any action, some action, but currently, by the looks of how the ground is and also how hard the rain is, the story is not too bright here at CR&FC, both figuratively and literally. The L.E Blaze Trophy, it'll be an absolute shame if we can't have any action today, because some of these boys will be hoping to represent their alma mater for one last time, and that too at a very, very important trophy. Important decisions being made, because remember, the referee needs to consider all circumstances. They need to make sure that the grounds are safe enough for the players, and as you can see, in the field, there is the rain has eased though. For about 2-3 hours there was heavy downpour, but now it has eased a little. But basically no lines on the field, so that's going to be taken into account by the referees. And also some parts of the ground is completely submerged in water, as you can see currently. So a decision will be made by the referees on whether the game will go ahead. What we'll do now is we'll go for a commercial break, but as soon as we have anything, any update from this end, we'll come back to you live.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධාස
ඇඩ්මෝරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்
Sugadadas Indoor Stadium
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
රුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නූරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
රුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නූරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නූරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නූරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නූරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
final showdown Candy Sports Club
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නූරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
final showdown Candy Sports Club
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයේ.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයේ.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
ඇඩ්මෝරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
ඇඩ්මෝරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නූරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
final showdown Candy Sports Club
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නූරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
final showdown Candy Sports Club
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
ඇට් මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
ඇට් මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝ ස්ටේඩියම්
Is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Welcome back to the live action brought to you on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com. L.E Blaze Trophy between Wesley College and Kingswood College, Kandy. And the good news is, despite the inclement weather conditions and despite the delay, there will be some play here at CR&FC. The news we have received is that the two school authorities have agreed to play a 20-minute half game and is supposed to commence shortly. Joining me in the com box is Abdullah Yusuf. Abdullah, unfortunate we don't have a full game, but luckily for the two teams there will be some rugby played.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening rather, Sudarshan, and good evening everyone. Yes, something's better than nothing, as they say, Sudarshan, and that's very much the case. The rain gods just haven't relented today. It's been a severe downpour, and they took a lot of time to discuss. The referees, the school authorities, everyone was discussed, and everything was discussed amongst them, all permutations, and eventually they've decided, as you said, Sudarshan, to play 20 minutes a half. It's a traditional game. Both teams were obviously looking forward to playing this game, so I think in the overall context of things, the right decision has been made. Let's hope that it will be a very entertaining 40 minutes of rugby we'll see today.
Well, the weather forecast, no prizes for guessing what that is going to be. Heavy rains, heavy downpour here at London Place. Temperature 27, minimum temperature 25. I think we are currently at the minimum end of that. There is no wind currently, but the underfoot conditions, I think calling it soggy is an understatement, Abdullah. It's going to be quite difficult for the teams to try and find their footing in this kind of weather.
Yes, it'll definitely not be easy, but one good thing about this CR ground is it's got a very good drainage system. From what we can see, there are hardly any puddles on the ground, Sudarshana. So the water that has whatever rainfall it's taken, it's either seeped in or it's gone towards the edges. But I think, as you said, the underfoot ground conditions are very, very wet. Teams will need to adjust accordingly. I don't think both these teams generally like to spread the ball wide and play, so they will have to adjust how they approach this game. But nonetheless, I think the most important thing is that they are getting some form of rugby here, which for some of these players, it will be the last time they represent their respective schools. So it was very important from their point of view that the game does take place.
Absolutely. For some of these boys, it will be the final opportunity that they get to try and represent their alma mater and to wear their jersey. So they will relish the chance to try and make the most of it. The two teams, Kingswood College, Ishara Rasanjana Dharmasena, Aslam De Silva, Amarkon, Fernando, Ishan, Ishara, Isumi, Sigrajapati, Ranavira, Bandara, Gamheva and Kushan, making up the playing 15. The replacement, Disanaika, Karnaratna, Dilshan, Ruzek, Disanaika, Bashit, Ekanaika and Hevagay, making up the bench for Kingswood College. Stand-up player for Kingswood is going to be in that number 12 jersey is Ranavira, their skipper, and also for Wesley Gamampila, Fernando, Jayaman, Jayamak, Kapagalla, Fernando, Nimsara, Pereira, Hopwood, Javadana, Tirangama, Correa, De Silva, Rodrigo, and Jayavira, Tarusha Jayavira at the back. The replacement, Subit, Miraj, Tabit, Abdullah, Mendes, De Silva, and Rashid, making up the replacements for Wesley College. Both the teams will be determined to try and deliver a very good performance here and to make sure that they lay claim to the L.E Blaze Trophy. Kingswood, of course, the pioneers of starting off schools rugby in the country, Abdullah, introduced the game in 1906 and played against Trinity College in their very first encounter.
Yeah, that's right. And also this tournament, this series does have a bit of history as itself, Sudarshan. It's a pretty long-standing traditional encounter between both these schools, and it's a prestigious encounter. It's probably the biggest game for these two teams in the context of their traditional fixtures. so they will definitely want to put in a good performance. But just going by the season, I think you'd have to say that Wesley are probably the more established, experienced team. Kingswood probably a team on the rise, a team for the future. So we'd have to say in this encounter, Wesley will probably going in as favourites.
Absolutely. I think the Double Blues will definitely go in as the favourites, but no discounts in Kingswood though, because remember Kingswood College managed to clinch up that under 18 sevens competition as well, so they will be spurred up by that, and I think compared to the two teams, they'll be the fresher lot. Kingswood College did not take part in the All Ireland Under 19 Sevens tournament, which was held in two weeks ago, if I'm not wrong. Yes, just a couple of weeks ago. Wesley, of course, taking part in that tournament. So Kingswood will be the fresher lot out of the two teams. So they will want to make sure that they make their presence known. Kingswood definitely has a very rich rugby tradition, a very proud rugby tradition, and this virtually being their big match when it comes to rugby, it will be quite personal to them.
Yeah, that's right. Traditional encounters definitely are. And if I'm not mistaken, Sudarshan, I think probably about 15-20 years ago, this game was actually played over 2 legs, if memory serves me right. So there's a lot riding on this for both teams. A bit unfortunate, really, that the weather had to get in the way of this game. But most importantly, we are going to have some rugby. So both teams, as you can see, are just going through their final preparations in readiness for kickoff. Just waiting for the referees to take the field as well. I think there's been some very long and strong conversations between the referees and the school authorities to get this game going, and kudos to both parties for eventually coming to some common ground and having a game at the end of the day.
Yes, absolutely. I think the most important fact is that the two teams are getting an opportunity to try and compete here. And like you mentioned, kudos to the irrigation system here at CR&FC, because the rain has not stopped since about 12 noon. Abdullah, it has been raining continuously, and even when we came to the grounds, that was around 1 o'clock, there were massive puddles in and around the field, and the moment the rain eased out, the puddles have gone missing. So hopefully, if the rain ceases, the next problem that we are going to face is the light, because currently, as you can see, it's quite dark and gloomy. Referees will be concerned about the light, in fact, as well. It is going to be a very important aspect, the lighting.
Yes, not just the lights, even I think the lines as well, isn't it, Sudarshan? I think that was another area of concern as far as the referees were concerned. But I think both teams have agreed to just come to compromise and not create any issues if it does arise, which again is a credit to both teams' management. So overall, we can see the teams just taking the field. Let's look forward to a good, entertaining 20 minutes halves of rugby.
Also, a small reminder to all of you. Unfortunately, we are not able to bring you the pictures from the side-on angle, which is normally from the 50-meter line, because of the inclement weather conditions. The normal placement of our videographers has been drenched in rain, so we have had to make an alternative arrangement where we place the camera behind the goal line, the dead line rather, and we will try and bring you the best available pictures with the best available circumstances. All set. A reminder again, it's going to be a 20-minute game. L.E Blaze 2022. This restart is going to be, beg your pardon, a 20 minutes half. That's a 40-minute game in total. It's going to be interesting how that restart is going to be, Abdul. As you can see, the kickers trying to find a spot where he can actually bounce the ball.
So it'll be Kingswood to kick off. So Kingswood have started, and as you can see, the first error of one of the Kingswood, of one of the Wesley players' hands going into touch. So that's something which both teams will need to be mindful of. It's the kind of conditions, Sudarshan, where you've got to ensure you take the ball into their chest, isn't it? Don't think it's those conditions where you can just hope that the ball will stick in your hand.
I think that time it was a little bit of over-eagerness coming in from Wesley, wanting to get hold of the ball as soon as possible, because remember, if he had let it go, if it went full out, there would have been a restart from the middle in favor of Wesley. But here's Kingswood College with possession, putting in a charge, have lost the ball forward. Going to see a lot more of that. Lost forward first by Wesley in the line out, says the referee. So Kingswood will retain possession.
Yes, as we have a look at that line out again. Good steal by, or rather good spoil by Wesley, but fortunately the ball just going forward. So an opportunity for Kingswood early on. Be interested to see the tactics that they employ, Sudarsha, from this first scrum. So it'll be their number 8 to make that initial break. Gets over the first tackle. Some good recycled ball. They have players out wide. But again, the ball, that pass not going to hand. Kingswood have retained possession. Recycle the ball, but again the ball is knocked on. So it's early signs, Sudarshan, that both these teams are yet to make that adjustment. I think it's a mental adjustment as much as anything else, isn't it? That, you know, the conditions, the ball is going to be very wet. You've just got to probably step in a meter or so when you collect the ball, ensure that you take it into the chest rather than, you know, just try and catching it into your hands only. So just those little adjustments which will probably happen as the game goes on, but so far it doesn't seem to be the case.
Also the psychological adjustment, like you said, it's not a general or a natural play days, and it you normally come into the game, you have your focus, go into the warm-up, go back into the shed and then come out to the game. But today there has been a lot of uncertainty around whether the game will go on or not. So to try and arrive at that mental space, raring to go, would have been quite difficult for the boys.
Yeah, absolutely, Sudarshan. I think you're spot on in that respect. And it's probably showing in this first few minutes as well, isn't it? Quite a few unforced errors by the teams. Not just the concentration alone, but even the ground conditions. So Jayavira, again, another error. Kicking the ball out on the full is Jayawardena. So not a particularly strong start by either team. Jayawardena just skewing that kick out on the full. So it will be a line out to Kingswood just outside their 22.
Well, one key aspect, especially in this kind of weather, is to try and play that territorial game. And so far, Wesley have been bogged down in their own half. That's not going to help their cause. Kingswood, on the other hand, have look like the team that has come on top in this early exchanges. Managing to set it up, sends it out wide. A little bit of a fumble. Now Wesley on the charge. Jayavira puts the ball up. It's a foot race now. Impressive distance on that one from Jayavira, especially with the conditions currently available.
Yeah, that's right.
was very close to a 50-22. Abdullah trying to make out whether it was a 22, and then indication was that one flag which is out there.
Yes, probably just missed the mark by about 5 meters, but again, the correct call. It's no point just trying and running the ball from your own half. The territorial game is going to be very important today.
Kingswood with the line out. Their line out has been a massive problem throughout this season, but seems like that they've fixed this. And Wesley managing to pounce on possession. Here's the scrum off, putting the ball to boot, putting Kingswood under pressure. There will be a 22 dropout. No, it has been taken back, says the referee. So 5 meter scrum in favor of Wesley College, who have come very good in kicking for territory, Abdullah.
Yeah, again, a very intelligent kick by Hopwood, I believe, from the base. You probably need to do that in these conditions. Just shows Sudarshan, just those couple of kicks, isn't it? First by the skipper, Jaivir, from their own half, and then even just outside the 22, that small punt by Hopwood has given Wesley a great opportunity to get that first score.
Hopwood with the put in. Keep an eye out on Hopwood to attack the massive space in front. The number 8 breaks from the back. Still on the move. And gets the score. Well, for all the dominance in the early couple of exchanges by Kingswood College, Wesley have managed to draw first blood. And you do hear the Zam Sake being rallied around here at CR&FC. Referee was right on the mark, had no hesitation in awarding that.
Yes, so it also shows those in those early exchanges as well, Sudarshan, the physical aspect. Probably it's an area where Wesley are going to dominate, and these conditions also favor that. So Kingswood will need to try and adapt their tactics, adapt their game plan, how they are going to approach this game. I think, again, just coming back, the territorial game is going to be very important, because even this try, what probably set it up was those 2 kicks, one from their own half and from their skipper Jaivir, and then that beautiful punt from face ball by Hopwood.
Javardhana lining it up for Wesley College. These points could be crucial at the end of the game, and he gets it. Extras added by Javardhana. 7 points to 0. 7 minutes on our clock, and if you're just joining us, welcome to the live telecast brought to you on Sri Lanka's #1 sports app, www.thepapare.com. L.E Blaze, affected by the inclement weather conditions currently prevailing around the country, and this game has been reduced to a 20-minute half game, so 40-minute game. And currently on the 8 minute on our clock, Wesley in the lead. Restart by Kingswood College, travels 10 meters, only just. Now Wesley with the advantage. Kingswood line caught offside. Hopwood to Javardhana, puts the ball up. Good contestable kick. But they did have advantage, a penalty advantage, so they will come back to the initial penalty awarded for the entire line being offside.
From Kingswood's point of view, they just cannot afford to give these kind of penalties. Again, the discipline probably letting them down at that breakdown. Chance for Javardhana to get Wesley back in the Kingswood's half. Finds touch. Probably not the distance he would have wanted to get, but nonetheless has managed to get into touch.
been a minute, isn't it, Abdullah, since we've had such heavy rains and rugby revolving around it. Normally, players and the spectators don't mind some rain as Wesley go marching forward. Good initial defense by Kingswood, managing to stop that maul. Wesley still with possession though, so they are going to try and keep it close to each other, and then Hopwood puts the ball up. The supporting runner in front of the ball carrier. He did not have anywhere to go but to run around, keep it available. Kingswood trying to attack from their own 22 meters in the red zone. Need to try and follow suit what Wesley did to try and get out of their red zone as soon as possible.
Yes, there again, Sudarshan, it's not the conditions to throw those long passes, isn't it? And just when you're just a few minutes away from your try line, as you can see again, it's just not those kind of conditions. The passes have to be short. When the players form, they've got to form a bit closer to each other as well. It's probably a little bit of inexperience from that Kingswood outfit just showing up there, isn't it? That was just not a very smart bit of play, trying to make those long passes, especially when you are under pressure as well.
Wesley with the put in. Hopwood. It's a very canny halfback. Now to the line. Wrap around by Hopwood. Jayavira joins the line. Breaks the first tackle. And just like that, he's in for the second try for Wesley College. Tarush Jayavira. A little bit of a, you can't say a dive really. It looked like a little bit of a splash, isn't it, Abdullah? Take a look at this.
Yes, again, the Kingswood line just not able to cope with that physicality. Went over the line and a bit of theatrics to put the finishing touches, but well deserved as well. So Wesley further extending their lead. And Kingswood will just need to be a bit smart on how they approach this game. Light here has deteriorated pretty rapidly at CR&FC. It's quite dark here, but players and the officials are determined to ensure this game goes on as Jayawardena takes the kick and he slotted it over. So Wesley have further extended their lead, 14 points to nil. So have a look at that replay again. Nice strike by Jayawardena. He's been in the thick of everything good that Wesley have done this season.
Well, thanks to the technology available, I can assure you that the pictures you currently see on your screens are much brighter than the pictures actually here at the grounds. It's quite dark here at CR&FC. So bad light is definitely going to be a factor come the second half, despite it being a 20-minute half. Kingswood with possession have been turned over by Wesley. Looking to attack, and they have a 14-point cushion. Here's numbers. Very good hands from Wesley College. Trying to take it quickly. They keep possession of the ball, but seems like the assistant referee has spotted something and wants to have a chat with the man in the middle with the whistle. And the rain intensifies.
Yes, I think he was penalized for a dangerous tackle, if I'm not mistaken, Sudarshana. So referee is just giving a warning, and suddenly the downpour here has just increased tremendously.
Well, it's going to be a battle to keep their eyes open in this rain, Abdullah. They're going to have some time because it's raining so very heavily here. Wesley with the line out. Goes to number 4. Good throw. Hits the mark. Breaking away is Gamampilla. Makes the ball available at the back. Wesley forwards will rumble through from here on. And due to the current conditions, that will be the wiser call. Keep it close as much as possible. Kingswood crumbling in defense. Wesley earns the penalty. Kingswood defensive line found offside. Now Hopwood decides to go wide. Hasn't managed to get the pass out cleanly, but is there a try? Yes, referee is satisfied. So that will be the third try. 19 points to nil. Hopwood knew that advantage was coming his way. Tries a long cutout pass, slide, and Jaivira scores on an imaginary try line.
Yes, well, wonderful pickup by Jaivira. It was not an easy thing to do in these conditions, but again, Sudarshana, just that physical dominance that this Wesley pack seems to be imposing on this Kingswood pack is just taking its effect. Once they created a few phases, attacked along the fringes, the Kingswood defense had absolutely no answer. And Hopwood would have probably done well to keep the forwards going, but he knew that he had a penalty advantage. So he made use of that and passed it out to the threes. Jayawardena this time doesn't make the conversion, but the scoreline remains at 19 points to nil. So it's just Wesley's physical dominance, isn't it, Sudarshana? They've also done well to play the game in the correct part of the field. And Kingswood have struggled to contain the Wesley pack whenever they have had possession. So Hopwood collects that kick, and a long ranging kick finds a lot of space. A good chase. Kingswood kick back, but it's not the best of kicks. Right into the midfield. But fortunately for Kingswood, one of the Wesley players knocks the ball on. So that was a bit of a reprieve for the Kingswoodians, because that retaliatory kick was not the best option, or rather not best directed.
Yes, also that put a lot of the Kingswood players offside. That would have been trouble for Kingswood if it did went to Wesley hand. Here's the kick. As you can see, all the red shirts in front, but kicker did very well to try and put the rest of his team onside. Kingswood now with the put in the opposition half, still trying to play that expansive game, looking for those wide pass. Their formation is a little too wide to my liking. Back of the hand passers, not the weather to throw them. Absolutely not the weather to throw them. And Wesley, on the other hand, take a look at that. Simple passes, close to each other. Put the ball to boot and chase it. Numbers on the outside, but this time slightly overcooked. Finds the touchline, so sigh a relief for Kingswood College.
Yes, again, Wesley choosing the correct option, kicking it behind the Kingswood defense. That was turnover ball, so most of the Kingswood line was up ready for attack.
Yes, Wesley have quickly recognized the template that they need to try and use due to the current weather conditions. They adapting to the conditions better than Kingswood College, Abdullah, which is why they're 19 points in front of the boys from Kandy, who you would expect to be more accustomed to weather of this nature. Again, the line are not successful by Kingswood, and referee blowing the whistle on that, deeming that it was not straight. So another opportunity for the Double Blues.
Yes, again that line out letting Kingswood down. Will be under quite a bit of pressure as we have a look at that once again. Not finding the target. Player behind him, behind the lifter, knocked the ball on. So probably the last play of this first half. Chance for the Wesleyites to further extend their lead. It will be Hopwood to feed the scrum. Gets the ball out. Jaivira double skips. Jayawardena rather double skips. But looks like it's been a forward pass. So it will be a scrum for Kingswood and an opportunity for them to clear their lines.
If you just joined us, welcome to the telecast on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com. This game being played as a 20-minute half game due to the inclement weather conditions that delayed the start of the game. Both teams and the authorities agreeing that there will be a curtailed game. Here's Wesley with an opportunity. Lovely collection by Jayavira, who was savvy to the bounce of that rugby ball. Never easy to judge, and had the good sense to take the defensive man and offload. What's worked for Wesley is the fact that they've put in very good kicks, and also they haven't been wasteful with possession. They've held on to possession in the opposition half and have managed to put pressure on Kingswood. Here's Pereira, still on the run. Pereira, just meters to go, have lost the ball forward. Very unfortunate. It was a good run by Pereira, and that's half time. End of the first half. 19 points to 0. Wesley in the lead.
Yes, it's been an interesting first half. You'd have to say the difference of both teams is probably the physical dominance of this Wesley pack. All three tries are coming courtesy of some strong marauding runs by that Wesley 8, as well as some very good tactical kicking as well. That has helped Wesley's cause. So Wesley comfortably sitting pretty at going into half time, 19 points to 0 up. And both teams just take a small breather as we have a look at the replay of that first half. Wesley, from that the first time they entered that Kingswood 22, managing to score. Jayawardena put the finishing touches to that first score. Then a lovely wraparound pass. Hopwood getting it out to his skipper Jayavira, who just brushed his opposite number to go over for Wesley's second try. Jayawardena once again had no problems with that conversion. So it was 14-0. And then just a couple of minutes to go to half time. Hopwood again slinging out a long pass to Jayavira, who collected that ball pretty well to go over for his second try and extend the Wesleyites lead to 19 points to nil. So it's half time here at London Place. We'll go in for a quick commercial break and see you at the commencement of the second half.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பு யாழ்ப்பாணத்திலிருந்து.
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිද්ධදාස
at මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
கிழக்கு மாகாணம்.
Sugadadasa Indoor Stadium.
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
තුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
final showdown Candy Sports Club
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you from London Players CR&FC grounds. L.E Blaze Trophy 2022. Wesley College taking on Kingswood College. If it's the first time you're joining us today, this game has been curtailed to a 20-minute half game due to the inclement weather conditions forcing the game to be started much delayed than it was supposed to be. Wesley currently in a commanding position, 19 points to nil over Kingswood College, who are yet to score, who have been struggling to find that rhythm. Here's Wesley yet again with the charge. Coughs up the ball. It's never easy, isn't it, Abdullah, playing in these conditions? The ball is going to be slippery and the light conditions aren't ideal. But luckily for all these boys, they're getting some game.
Yes, that's right. I think administrators, players wanted to play this game, and so far it's been played in the correct spirit. No complaints from everyone. They're just getting on with the job. As you said, Sudarshan, are not ideal playing conditions. We have the lights on here at CR&FC as well. As Kingswood from the scrum, deciding to kick it. And looks like, oh, what an unfortunate situation for Kingswood. Jaivira just misjudging the bounce there. Fell right into the Kingswood wing three-quarters hands, but unfortunately not being able to hold on to that. He knocked the ball on, so...
Well, if Kingswood did manage to try and score, they could have made the game a little more spicier. Not being able to judge that one. I think when it bounced towards him, the Kingswood winger did see the try line, which is not very visible. But everything going the Wesley way. Wesley yet again opting to go to the boot, puts the ball high up. Not collected cleanly and falls kindly to a Wesley hand, and try scored by the winger Rodrigo, who thanks his lucky stars. The moment he touched the ball, that was curtains.
Yeah, that's right. And it's just a situation of what it could have been for Kingswood as well, isn't it, Sudarshan? Because of that previous play, there was a similar situation where the ball just fell into the Kingswood wing three-quarters hands, but he just couldn't hold on to it, while Rodrigo was good enough to do so. And as a result, Wesley have further extended their lead. Jayawardena for the conversion. So just 3 minutes into this second half, and the Wesleyites have further extended their lead.
Fourth attempt at the conversion has been good, with 2 out of the 3 that he attempted. His fourth one going astray. But Wesley now 24 points to 0 in the lead. Dominant performance so far by the Double Blues. What a game, what a day, and what an experience, Abdullah. Barely can hear each other because of the rain coming down heavily on this CR&FC new pavilion roof. It's definitely a first, isn't it? Can't remember the last time we covered a game of this nature.
Yeah, absolutely not, Sudarshan. And also it's probably a game which a lot of these players will look back and refer to as the game that was played in some pretty exceptional circumstances. First, the game got delayed. There was a lot of conjecture whether the game will actually go ahead. Eventually, they decided to go play 20 minutes a half. Lights have come on here at CR. It's been pouring, then it stopped. Started drizzling again here at London Place. So it's been an interesting experience, not just for the players, for the spectators, commentators like ourselves. As Wesley, good clean take from the line out. And again, just using the kick to good effect. Good chase by the Wesleyites, but very well collected, cleaned up by Kingswood. So Wesley thought they had the rights to the ball, but looks like the ref has adjudicated that the ruck had already been formed, so it's a penalty for Kingswood. An opportunity for them to clear their lines. So it'll be Azmi who tries to find touch. Strikes the ball well as we have a look at that replay once again. Some good pressure by Wesley. Thought they had the rights to the ball, but looks like the referee had adjudicated that the ruck was formed. So as a result, a penalty in favor of Kingswood. So another pretty scrappy line out by Kingswood, but they do well to retain possession. Take the ball into contact. Do get the ball. Scrum half deciding to go to the booth this time. Collected nicely by Hopwood. So they create a ruck. Passes it out to Pereira. He's had a very strong game today. Takes the ball in. Doesn't quite lay it out, but Kingswood were not behind the hindmost foot. Take the quick tap. Sides to take it into contact. Another pick and go by these Wesley forwards. Slowed it down again. Referee has his hands out for a high tackle. Wesley again running through the fringes. Again attacking through the fringes, and looks like Wesley have got their 5th try. So some good work by the Wesley forwards. I just don't think this Kingswood team is equipped to compete against the physicality of this Wesley 8. Again, just showed in those conditions. As we have a look at it once again, referee was playing advantage for the high tackle, but it was just not good enough. Was Kingswood's defense to throw out that try, and it was the Wesley prop forward who went over for their 5th try. Jayawardena lining himself up for the kick.
Interesting, isn't it, Abdullah? It's a 40-minute game, 28 minutes on our clock, and Wesley have already run up 31 points against the Kingswoodians. So the Kingswood supporters won't be complaining at the fact that it's a rain-curtailed game. It's shortened because Wesley look like they are really in a mood.
Yes, and it's not the ideal conditions that Kingswood would like to play the game in also, isn't it, Sudarshan? And they definitely are at a disadvantage when it comes to the weight factor. With regard to the 8, they would like to play the ball with play this game with a bit more width, but the conditions just don't suit that kind of play. Looks like there's been a late challenge there, so the referees would come back. The linesman has his flag out. It was really a silly challenge by the Wesley chaser. There's absolutely no reason, no need to make that late charge, and as a result could be a few bit of problems for the Wesley team here. Usually those late charges do result in a yellow card. Looks like the referee is consulting his assistant referee. Yes, looks like he'll be going to the pocket, Sudarshana.
Completely unnecessary there, Abdul, and rightfully spending some time at the bench now.
Yes, it's their hooker Fernando who will be spending the next 10 minutes on the bench. So it's an opportunity for Kingswood to try and get some points on the board in that period. Got a penalty just on the 22. Deciding to go for touch. Their line-out hasn't functioned at all today, isn't it, Sudarshana? So it's an interesting call as we have a look at that once again.
Just a lazy shoulder on that man. And clearly it was very much delayed. So right call by the two referees. Here's Kingswood with an opportunity. The closest they've come to the Wesley line.
Yes, they've been penalized for closing the line out, so it's a free kick for Kingswood. So interesting call to be made. Looks like they'll be going for a scrum.
Off the screen, Abdullah, if you now looking at the Kingswood line and their formation, they've formed taking the entire width of the field. I don't think it's the ideal formation for a line to be spread out so wide, because throwing those passes aren't going to be easy. Ideally, they should try and look to attack Wesley in more closer quarters. Lovely break, not held in the tackle, so gets back up on the feet.
Yes, it looks like the referee has given awarded a penalty try in favor of Kingswood. That was a pretty reckless challenge by skipper Jayavira, you'd have to say. And could we see another Wesley player visiting the sin bin?
Oh, straight red. Very interesting that. Let's try and take another look at what happened there, because that's early showers for Jayavira. No pun intended. They've been under heavy showers, but go dry himself up now. See
Yes.
whether we can try and take a look at the replay. 7 points to 31. Here's the break. Lovely straightening run. Oh yes. No doubt there by the referee. Straight direct contact. He didn't dip at all, Abdullah, and long lacy arm clothesline tackle.
Absolutely, right in the neck area, isn't it? So that replay pretty much justifies the decision by the referee. So that'll be the end of Jayavira's school career by the looks of it. Very talented player. Let's hope that he continues his rugby career in the clubs and learns from that mistake as well, that you've got to go low and make your tackles. He is a tall man nonetheless, but body position going into the tackle is very important.
Yes, and it's not the first time that he's found guilty of that charge. Abdullah not getting a red straight, but in that decisive game against Isipatana College, where Wesley lost 10 points to nil, Jayavira did receive a yellow card for a similar kind of tackle. So that's something that he needs to work on. But nevertheless, like you mentioned, absolutely brilliant prospect when it comes to both club and national level rugby for Sri Lanka. Tarusu Jayavira, very sensible player. Again, a late charge on a Kingswood lad. Wesley need to be very careful. Little bit of kicking ping pong going on between the two teams. Here's Kingswood trying to put pressure on Wesley. Ball in the in-goal area. Wesley opting to run. Kingswood trying to put them under pressure. They have a two-man advantage against the Wesleyites. Time quickly running out though. 33 minutes on our clock. Wesley have been very secure around possession. That's something you need to really give it to them. And like you've been harping time and time again, Abdullah, they'll They are the heavier set of forwards. So in those contact areas, they managed to win the one-on-one contact. Here's an opportunity for Kingswood. Lovely bit of work. They need to try and play as close as they possibly can to each other. And make sure that they do those basics right. Crossfield kick. Falls to the hand of Kingswood and a red shirt. A well touched down for their second try. So Kingswood get their second, 12 points to 31 with the conversion to come. Are we seeing a very famous comeback in a different kind of a game?
Well, it'll be an absolute miracle if that does happen, Sudarshana. But you can see during these latter stages of this game, the Wesleyites seem to be losing their concentration. The discipline has let them down. They're playing this game now with just 13 players. And to the credit of Kingswood, they have capitalized, isn't it? Which shows a bit of character in this team. They've been out of the game for the first 30 minutes, but just in this last 5 minutes or so, they've pulled their socks up. They've got a couple of scores in. And there's been a consultation between the assistant ref and the referee.
Well, seems like the try is not awarded after all. And the referee has decided a penalty in favor of Wesley College. I think that was for tackling the man without the ball when he went for that kick. So Wesley getting an opportunity to put the ball into touch, eat away precious couple of seconds. Right call.
Yes, I think the penalty was for tackling the player while he was off the ground, isn't it? So correct call by the assistant ref. On that occasion, Kingswoodians discipline letting them down. So another opportunity for Wesley, just as we approach this final 5 minutes of this game. Another good, strong line out by the Wesley lads. Just taking the ball up. Kingswood trying to hold the Wesley players off the ground, but they managed to recycle possession. Now it looks like they will try a wonderful offload, unfortunately. Player receiving the ball, unable to hold on to it. Fernando has, rather Pereira, the number 8 of Wesley, has been pretty outstanding today. He's used his physicality to good effect to constantly break this Kingswoodian defense. So nice offload after drawing 2 defenders towards him, but unfortunately his teammate not being able to hold on to the ball. So another attacking opportunity for Kingswood. Ball is fed in. Spread it out wide. Just looking at their options. This time the Wesley defense standing tall and forcing that error by Kingswood. So it's a knock-on in favor of the Wesleyites. I can assure you that The light you're seeing on the screen is much better than what we have here at London Place.
It's very dark. It's very, very dark here at London Place. The floodlights normally facilitating some touch rugby here at some recreational touch rugby here at CR&FC have come on.
Pereira makes another break, creates a phase. Wesley taking it in, and looks like they have a penalty advantage for offside. Go into contact again. Hopwood takes a quick tap. Tries to kick it ahead. Has he made contact? Will the referee come back for the knock-on? Is it? So nice break by Hopwood, but unfortunately just losing his composure at the crucial moment. Tried to probably kick the ball ahead, but ball didn't meet the foot on that occasion, which resulted in a knock-on. So just approaching the final minute of this game, Sudarshana. It's been pretty much Wesley's game for those first 30 minutes. Kingswood just haven't been able to match up physically to this Wesley outfit. And the scoreline pretty much reflects that difference between both the teams.
Interestingly, when you talk about the scoreline, Abdullah, if somebody did not watch this game and only takes a look at the scoreline, he'll think that it was a full affair, 31 points to 7. Generally looks like an 70-minute game, but that's the long whistle. Full time here at London Place, and the L.E Blaze will travel to Wesley College with a dominant performance in the opening couple of minutes in the game. Fair play and kudos to Kingswood College, of course, for making this trip. Abdullah, we've seen a lot of schools bowing out from their traditional encounters, especially with the fact that it's been an extended season. It's been a little bit of a different season than we are normally accustomed to. But Kingswood, despite being one of those not so strong teams during the season, opting to honor this fixture, the annual fixture between them and Wesley College. So kudos to Kingswood for that.
Yes, and also it's a very young Kingswood team, isn't it, Sudarshana? Yes, the result may not have favored them today, but I'm sure the experience they probably gain from this encounter will hold them in good stead in the future. Wesley, on the other hand, probably overall will be a little bit disappointed with how their season panned out. Just remember watching that first game against Vidyartha. We deemed them to be one of the favorites to probably go all the way, but few results haven't quite gone their way this season. But nonetheless, I think they'll be very happy that they managed to conclude their season with this rather comprehensive victory against a very young Kingswood outfit. So some consolation for the Wesleyites as we have a look at that scoreline, 31 points to 7. As we have a look at the highlights of this second half. That was the first try of the second half, courtesy Rodrigo. An error by the Kingswood fullback. A good chase nonetheless by the Wesleyites. And then the Wesley forwards just doing their thing. The Kingswood fringe defense just not good enough. Jayawardena rather, considering the conditions, had a very good day with the boot, and of course this was the reckless challenge by skipper Tarusha Jayavira, which saw him getting the marching orders, and a penalty try was thereafter awarded. So this is the stats for today's game. Wesley running out comfortable victors, 31 points to 7, 5 tries to 1. Jayawardena converting 3 of those tries. And Kingswood's sole try coming courtesy of a penalty try. So that's how the game ended today. Wesley College winning the Blaze Trophy for the year 2022. And that'll bring us to the end of this telecast from London Place, from Sudarshan Apiris and myself, Abdullah Yusuf. Until we meet again, on behalf of the Papare.com, it's good night and stay safe.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.